We're so excited to have you here this morning. A lot of stuff going on today. How many of you are here to see who your top producers are? Raise your hand. Okay, how about learning some secrets from them? Tricks of the trade, right? And then you should ask them how many millions of dollars they made. Just saying. Anywho, definitely, the Chinese American Real Estate Association has been around for 38 years. And we throw fabulous events to give you more information so that you can further your career. And we have an amazing board. If I can get my board up here, if I can get Mickey Yang up here, Siraj, Angela, Jan, Alan, and I hope I can see, let's see, Jennifer, if you're here. We have Wilson. Wilson, just to let you know, he is our treasurer. So if you have money to give to him, that's the person. So come on up, board. This is a board that does a lot of event planning behind the stage. And just want to make sure we got everyone. Yeah, we do. So thank you, board, for making this happen. As you know, 38 years does not come easy. But it is with a lot of hard work, and most importantly, we have an amazing leader. Our vice president, Jason, isn't able to be here. He's definitely down in Irvine, but we do have our amazing president here, Mark Zhang. Mark is going to say a couple words, and then we'll get started.
Thank you for coming today, and it's kind of our biggest event of the year. And so, yeah, you're not here to listen to me, so let's give the rest of the time to the speaker. And so I'm going to introduce, oh, by the way, my name is Mark. I'm the president of the California Chinese American Real Estate Association. And that's it. Good morning, and thank you for coming.
A man, a few words. Guys, thank you to our board. You guys are amazing. And good things. Jennifer had made sure you had lunch this morning, and everyone here has carried a lot of stuff upstairs so that you're being fed breakfast this morning. So thank you, board. Thank you so much. All right. So definitely we have great sponsors that has made this happen for us. And one of our amazing corporate sponsor, she flew in from LA at 4 o'clock this morning just for you guys. And if you don't know her, you need to get to know her. Her insurance company is amazing. She does commercial, she does residential, a little bit everything, but she's going to tell you more. Please welcome Pepper Hugh, one of our corporate sponsors.
Thank you for the board for get together this amazing event. And then good morning, everyone. My name is Pepper from Pepper Home Insurance. Just like she said, I woke up 4 a.m. this morning, and then I took my flight 6 a.m. and I fly here. We arrived in front of the door about 7:30. So I gotta say what, you guys are really amazing. You work so hard. Cause this is the only flight I can take to catch up this event. And usually in Southern California, we don't have this type of event starting before 1 o'clock. Okay, so the reason I'm flying here, because I want to make my commitment to you. Because even though I'm from Southern California, geography is never a problem. I made my commitment to be ready to be your most accountable insurance partner through the transaction. And if you ever work with us or you will be work with us, there's something we can help you before escrow, during escrow, or even after escrow. We always provide second mile services. So how can we provide your service before even you get into contract? You're gonna come to me, give me the address you're going to place an offer. We're going to run 2 reports for you. One is a wildfire report, the other is a loss history report. It's going to help you understand the risk of this property, because those are 2 major factors that's going to have insurance eligibility and a premium problem. But if I give you clean report for the clean 2 reports for those addresses, you can have a peace of mind to go ahead and place an offer, because insurance will never be a problem during this transaction. But if you're a listing agent, you're going to put a house onto the market. You also want to check with us. We're gonna give you those 2 reports, so you'll be aware what you're gonna face during this transaction regarding insurance. That's how we help you before you even get into the contract. We give you a peace of mind. But if you want to know how we can help you during the escrow or even after escrow close, please pay me a visit at my booth, and we're gonna share more information with you guys. And at this time, now I am so eager to listen to all the top producers to share and get to know all the top producers here. So that's it. Thank you.
Thank you, Pepper. All right, we do have an event sponsor today, and if you haven't seen them, they're in the back. I'd love to have Wei from Say Homes come up, talk a little bit about our the sponsorship we have. How many of you guys are hearing a lot about ADUs right now? A lot, right? Well, ADUs is going to be one of the biggest topics that you're going to see, because technically it's affordable housing and a lot of investors are coming in. So Wei, can you tell us a little bit more? Or your speaker? Oh, S2. Come on up. Wei, thank you so much. S2A modular, guys.
Thank you so much, and very glad to hear again. How many people heard about modular before? Raise your hand. A little percentage. How many people built a modular home before? None of it? Okay, good. So this will be great time to educate what is modular. So my name is Wei Chen. I'm from S2A Modular, right here. We are the future of construction, future of housing. How we build homes in a factory with the same condition, permit, better quality in a factory, and we ship to your land. And we have a factory in California, Patterson, 100,000 square footage factory. Very beautiful. I'm gonna show you really quick. We can build single family, ADU, apartment buildings, hotel, school, anything that you want. And with a better quality, 40 to 50% less time, and 10% to 20% cheaper, and better quality. That's the most important thing. Let's see some video.
With the future of construction. It's really about the set of systems.
26 stations. We designed the factory for a clear span. We don't have to work around any obstructions. We use an air-bearing system to move our modules. The advantage of our fabric structures, great illumination in the factory. We put a raisable scaffold system at every station that has elevator work, our automated mill saw that's totally enclosed. We do all the inspections here at the factory.
We are the future of homes.
Thank you.
With the future of construction.
So what's so special today is we are launching this program, ADU program, with a local builder, Say Homey, so we can build your one-stop service ADU in 3 months. Better quality, less money, built in 3 months. Let's give a pass to Jack. She will introduce you this program lunch.
Hi everyone, thank you. This is Ja. Also friend of Wei Wei. We know each other for a couple of years. From friendship, we extended our friendship to business. And we would like to, share this collaboration today here for the audience. We know already we're talking about ADU. And we also know that there's massive opportunities coming up, right? It's not a new word, it's old. However, the growing opportunity is more because nowadays you can sell an ADU as well. And San Jose already approved, right? It's already been sold. So there's a lot of opportunities for our agents, our potential clients, to consider to build an ADU with a more affordable way and already have cash flow. Okay, next. So what is different from us compared to the traditional or other prefab ADU builders out there is we're a company also leverage technologies. We are trying to empower AI to help us to seamless the process for people to find if you are feasible to build an ADU, what models fit in your backyard. Is the budget fitting what you need or your client's needs? And together with the floor plans have from S2A to deliver that end products to our customers with our years of building experiences embedded all together. So we have right now delivered about 5 different models. Right now you can see probably 4. We list the most competitive ones because in the market, if you go to the search, there's no one be able to offer almost better price as the same quality we can see, especially in the bigger size of the ADUs. Normally we offer, you see a lot of small studios, you see probably 1 bedroom, 2 bedroom, but we also offer 3 bedroom and 2 baths size, which gives you probably one of the best ROI because if your backyard can fit it. So you probably also can get a financial program from our financial partners, probably ranging from $1,000 to about less than $2,000, I would say. Then you would probably have a positive cash flow about $1,000 to $2,000 per month if you will be able to do that ADU in your backyard. And not only that, we also be able to, I guess, increase your property's value, right? I think, I'm not agent, agents probably have better numbers, but I feel like at least probably 1,000 square footage of value can be potentially added if you're building in a very good location for your house. So if you can sell the ADU in, if your customer wants to, you probably get a double transaction from this opportunity, right? You sell the house to them, that fits ADU, in the future they build ADU, and they potentially can sell the ADU as well. And providing that value to customer, I think it will enhance your relationship with them. And for us, we're here to help. This is the number we have already given a little bit, and we talk about the differences is from interest, the address, to deliver the end product. We have the streamline of the operation and seamless for you guys to really follow through. We're clear, transparent, no hidden cost. Okay, next. So for today, we're hoping to help to number one, if you guys can connect with us in the end, we have a QR code. You can register for the early access for our AI tools you can already use for today. And second, if you have already potential customers, we definitely can help you to look into the property and see if it's feasible for ADU. If your customers are thinking about building ADUs, we can provide on-site assessment and prioritize your time schedule as the benefit to our audience today. And we can also offer that, ROI analysis report in your name so that you can provide to your clients that is, from your analysis instantly, not you have to do the work because our team, the AI, can generate that report of the feasibility of the ADU building. And then you can deliver that with your brand name or your personal name to your customer. That's what we can offer today for the audience. Next. Yes, so we have a little bit small QR code you can scan. The first one is the registration for the early access. You're probably providing your contact information and we will be able to send out follow-up information, more details. I know it's a short time for you to have in your hand, be able to leverage that tools or price models to communicate to your client. And for those who actually are more familiar with the WeChat, we have a WeChat group you can add. If you want to add personal contact information, we are in that table over there. We have our builders and designer team here. They can answer questions if you have any. And me and Vivi also will be in the table if you have any questions regarding either our business model, our pricing, how we work, and any question regarding the prefab home, ADU homes. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Jai. All right, so I'm sure you're wondering, with all this ADU, who is going to finance? We definitely have some amazing lenders out here that is a corporate sponsor. Please give a hand to Bank of America. Bank of America, where you guys at? Oh, you guys are so quiet. All right. There you go, they're back there. You have Wilson's of Bank of America and Kevin Tran and his whole team. How about Wells Fargo as a corporate? Wells Fargo, where are you guys at? Oh, there you go, hi Suraj for being back there. We also have New Dream Funding is another amazing sponsors that really help throughout the year. So last but not least, you guys are here for our top producer. I want to make you guys get really into this because how many of you guys heard of Tom Berry? Ever gone to his amazing coaching sessions? Raise your hand. All right. So how Tom Ferry works? You're gonna have to do this with me, right? They're gonna start to clap really lightly, and then it's gonna be really large. So you're gonna do it like this. Can you help that? All right. So do it for me. On a count of 1, 2, 3. There you go. All right. We're gonna be better by lunchtime. I know we are. But we have an amazing moderator. She is a Tom Ferry certified coach. Best yet, she is the only one that speaks Mandarin. And you really want to make sure you are doing your best and want to be the top producer, I highly suggest you really want to talk to and the only Diane Na Yi. Please. And I will soon speak Mandarin, so there you go.
Thank you. Thank you for helping me warm up the place. And first of all, let's show of hands. How many of you think you're working harder this year? Yes. If working harder is the answer, all of you are winning now. Okay. You know, first of all, I want to acknowledge this room because you're here on Thursday morning. You're here not by accident. You're here because you want to grow. And let's be honest, information is everywhere, right? And leads are everywhere. And the result, not so much. Because conversion, consistency, and predictability, that's where most agents are stuck. And the gap between average agents and top producers, the gap is not growing. The gap is accelerating. The agents who are winning in this market, they're moving faster with AI. They are building authority through context. And today, we're here, not just like, it's not a seminar. You're not here just to listen to the theory and taking notes and go home, go back to your old habits. And I challenge you, while you're here, ask yourself, what are you going to do differently? What do you need to change? And what do you need to stop doing? And what you can implement right away. So today, you're going to hear from 4 extraordinary agents who are not guessing and waiting in this market. They are producing in it. They're doing something different. They're operating differently. They have systems give them consistent listings. So first of all, I want to start with someone who truly knows how to maximize the potential. Because he's not only a realtor, but an architect. Let's welcome Anson on the stage. Thank you, Anson. Oh. Yeah, it's okay. So Anson, great to have you here. And by now, we know you picked the right farm, Rancho Recanada, at the right time. You're the right person to farm in that area. So when did you start that farm?
First of all, thank you for having me to be here today. Today's topic is talking about AI, social media, and geofarming. I've been using AI. I'm surprised this isn't an interview about me on AI because I have been using AI since I was born. If AI stands for internet. Okay, just kidding. I myself know nothing about artificial intelligence. I'm trying to catch up on social media. So far, I have a 0 conversion from social media.
Thank you for your honesty.
And thanks, Marie. I finally get my, my Xiaohongshu set up and my Instagram set up. So now I do have social media now. So I think like, so today all I can contribute is like some geo farming. I want to share with you my first listing was back in 2008 when I first get my first brand new home listing in Rancho Recanado.
Sorry to interrupt. How long did that take you to get the first listing?
My first listing, I would say I got my license for about 4 years, and I don't see anyone can be more unproductive than me in my first 4 years. I seriously doing this business in 2007, so it took me about 1 year to get my first listing. Yeah.
So when you picked Rancho, is that your first choice, or is there any other area that you are considering?
That's my first listing. Yeah, my first listing. I have a friend who's an architect, and then he built a brand new home. So he said like, Anson, I want to sell you to sell the house in 14 days. So then that's how I get my first listing.
Is there any challenges back then?
Back in the time, the challenge is to close the deal. So I still vividly remember when the day that we closed that deal back in 2008, July 30th. And that was the day that we were closing on that day, but the morning rumors, all the news said Lehman Brothers is about to collapse. So that time, and then the buyer hesitate and to close. At the end of the day, she still closed. However, after the closing, 45 days later, that's the market crash. And I didn't see any brand new homes since that time until 2012.
Okay, so if we think 2026 is hard, ask Anson. And we thought like, we're doing like, real estate is harder and harder. And Anson being in the business the longest among these 4 panelists, when you're facing challenges or difficulties, what was in your mind?
In my mind is this. Actually, I want to ask all the audience, have you guys heard of Ayrton Senna? Anybody know Ayrton Senna? There's one person here. Anybody else? Okay. Someone did a deal with Ayrton Senna? Ayrton Senna is not a real estate agent. Ayrton Senna is actually a Formula One legendary hero. So back in 1984, Monaco Grand Prix race, and he started with number 13 on the grid. And all of a sudden, it rained. It rained harder and harder. And then all the other race car drivers, they were struggling. They pulled the car on the side, they slowed down. It was extremely dangerous, that can cost their life. And Ayrton Senna speed up. And he go from number 13 to number 2. In fact, the Grand Prix has to stop the race in order to stop him to become the champion. So the reason why he was so brave in the rain was because he was trained in the rain. So whenever I hit the challenge, I see myself, this is a challenge, that's gonna be a better me in the future. So Senna was trained to be in the rain before he became a champion. So I still remember, like my mentor taught me this. It probably take you 10 farm area to get one successful. For me, I was very fortunate, very lucky. My success came first. However, then my 9 following, I didn't get any result. I mean, didn't get the same result. Some of the farm area, we farmed it for 3 years, and I got like less than 10 phone calls. For those of you today, you think 2006 is tough, you look around, the economy is bad, the business is not doing well, you can visualize someone as a role model, pair up with you, and then to kind of help you to overcome the challenge.
Thank you. So what I'm hearing is resilience that you build through tough times. Yeah. And let's fast forward to today, right? And do you mind share what's your production and the percentage of business getting from your farm?
Today, I get my business about 80% to 90% from my farm area. But funny thing or happy thing is I don't just get the business from that. I get all my friendship, my network from Rancho Recanada. I get my gym buddy, my Japanese buddy, my CPA, my property manager. They're all from the farm area. And recently, I got the second generation of Rancho Recanada. So sometimes we got a call from the resident's son or daughter, and then they call me up and say, "Hey, Anson, I actually grew up with a sign. Can you help me to buy a house?" So recently we closed 2 to 3 deals for the second generation.
Do you know how much I hate you? When I see my son brought home a T-shirt with Anson in the back. Yes, okay. So right now you talk about conversion. Out of 10, you only get 1, right? How about right now? Let's say 10, you get 10 phone calls. How many will turn into listings?
I would say probably 80%, 80 to 90% conversion. But like at the very beginning, I still remember maybe I go to 10 appointments, I got 3. Then slowly become 5, slowly become 70%, slowly 80, 90%.
Gotcha. So if you were to put your entire listing philosophy into 1 or 2 phrases, or like which will drive results, what would that phrase be?
That phrase will be stay focused. I would rather to be very well known, go very deep on only few street, that I'm the expert in that area, that everybody knows me, rather than an average agent all over.
That's the goal. I want you to remember what Anson said forever. Thank you. Let's give Anson a round of applause. So Anson, you can sit comfortably. And the next speaker, you know, I talk to a lot of agents. Sometimes what come out is not like, oh, they did so well. Sometimes it's just how they run the business. What's interesting about Gigi is she didn't wait until she overwhelmed to start the team. She hired very early. Let's welcome Gigi on the stage.
Hi everyone, I'm Gigi.
So Gigi, what made you think differently at the beginning, while most agents wait much longer to start hiring the first one?
Hiring somebody, I think it's a strategy. So when I jumped into this industry, it's 2018. I don't think it's a job, it's a business. So we are the self-employed, right? When we submitted the tax. But I think when I jump into industry, I give myself 4 years. I think, okay, if I can do something in these 4 years, I can stay here. Otherwise, I will leave in this industry. So at the first half year, I didn't make any transactions. So during that half year, I just say, okay, what's the industry looks like inside? And then I think, okay, so it's only 3 goals in this industry. So the first one maybe is marketing, the second one is operation, and the third one is customer service. And then I try to think more deep, to think about, okay, what's my valuable thing in these 3 parts, okay? And then I think, okay, so for me, if I pick up 1 to 2 things in these 3 parts, that's enough. Yeah, and then I can leave the other parts to everybody to know me.
Got you.
Yeah.
So it's not about just hiring, and you are not enter the business randomly. You design your business, start very beginning.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, I like this word design. Yeah.
Okay. So the other thing, at the same time, very early stage, you decide to protect your personal life. And which I think a lot of agents struggle with. So do you think a lot of us are over-sacrificing our personal life to our business?
Actually, for this part, it's not start from beginning. Yeah, so I said I want to stay in this business for the first 4 years. And then I found, okay, I can success in this business. But I remember in 2021 or 2022, so that's during the COVID, so our business is very crazy, right? So at that year, I finished almost 100 transactions by myself for that 1 year. So that's very, very hard.
So you learned from your challenges.
Yes, I know what's my target, my ceiling. I cannot break up this ceiling. And then I know, okay, I need to take care of myself. Yeah, the health and the mental issue, health issue, and my deep relationship, I really care about this part. So, and then I think about it, okay, so this is what I can do by myself. And then how to try to find looking for more person to help me. Then that's why, so go to today, we have our very solid team structure.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
So I bet along the way you had to say no to a lot of things, right? Sometimes maybe say no to business in order to protect your life that you're having right now.
Yeah, so even such kind of sharing today, so this is the first time I think.
Thank you for giving your first time to us.
Yeah, so I really try to protect myself, my time, because everyone only have 24 hours every day, and I know I can live until 120. So, but I think even that, I really care about every minute, every second in my life. Yeah.
Okay.
So I said no to something I don't want to deal with.
Okay, very good. And of course, taking care of yourself, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so you build your business on top of relationships. And how can you build trust at such a big scale?
For that one, I don't think I try to build that. So that's the real thing of this business. It's reliability, right? Our clients, so many agents being here, and I talked with my clients. Okay, you have your drive license, and nearby, I think maybe 2 to 4 person they have a drive license. They also have a real estate license. So that's why we keep each other, right? So for me, I think sometimes my clients pick up me, but on the other side, I pick up them. Yeah. If somebody they really can see my value, we can work together, and then we can work together very happy. Otherwise, if we just finish one transaction, they go to their house and I go to my commission, and then they stay in this house, say, oh my gosh, why I pick up Gigi to be my agent? That's so terrible. I think, oh no, that's not what I want to have. So I think that's the main thing in my heart. So I'm here.
Okay.
Who am I?
Mhm.
If you pick me, okay, you pick such kind of service. If you don't pick me, that's fine. Yeah.
I think you had very clear mind, start from the beginning, right? You
Yeah.
mentioned client service.
Yeah, from day one.
Right.
Yeah.
And you are not like chasing transactions. You are looking for your partners, right?
Yes.
You are looking for the relationship
Yes.
that you will be enjoying.
Yes. So that's very important, I think. So first, we need to figure out who am I, and what kind of person we want to work together, like live together and play together. So if we confirm that, everything will be very easy. Yeah, every transaction will be very happy. Yeah.
So actually, not just relationship, you're talking about branding, right? That's who you are.
Yeah, if we put that in business, that's a branding.
Yeah.
In life, I think, yeah, I think it's very, very important just to think about it, who we are and why we are here.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Okay. So you mentioned a 4-year plan, right? In China, we have 5-year plan 4-year plan, I guess, from the real estate license term, 4-year.
Okay.
Right?
I never think about it before.
Okay, so 2018 to 2022, yeah, 2022 to 2026. So what's your 2026 to 2030 plan?
Okay, that's a very good question. So I'm a target driving person. So during the first, I think 4 years, 5 years, I have a very clean target every year, every half year, every quarter, every month, and even every week. And I think from 2023, I stopped myself. Okay, no any target, no any goal. Just to try to enjoy every minute, every hour, every day in my life. Yeah, so I think from then on, I have no any target in my business. Okay, but the interesting thing is, I never set up any goal, but I don't know, it's a volume or something, it keep very steady or even a little bit go up. So, I don't know, the Chinese is say 无欲则刚. I don't know how to speak in English. Yeah, but I think that's a very magic thing in my life. So for the next 4 years, honestly speaking, I have no any plan for my business. Okay. Yeah, but for my life, I definitely have very clean target and goal during the next 5 years. Okay. Yeah, because this year I'm 40, so I think okay, it's a very good timing for my double 20.
Double 20.
Yeah. So during the next 5 years, I will spend less time in my business and spend more time in my life. Yeah. Just like the past 3 years, actually, so I feel I don't know what I can share here with everybody because during the past 3 years, I didn't focus on this business too much. Yeah.
But I don't think that's luck. You designed it very well, start from the beginning, right? And you said you don't have the goal, but somehow whatever you are doing, the system you already built, right, give you consistent results.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, so I mentioned during the first 4 years, I did not have a business by myself, but even that I have my foundation supporting team. That includes the marketing, the TC, the operation, something like it. Yeah, and during the past 3 years, so our structure is I have my listing side business partner, buy side business partner, and the investment part business partner. So right now I feel very comfortable because those 3 teams, they are run every day, very split.
So if we connect the dots from early leverage to clear boundary and the clarity in business and the system you build together and the partners you work with, that made who you are today. Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Gigi. Yes, you can say something. So the next speaker, I don't think I need to introduce her because we see her all the time on social media. Let's watch the video first. Marie's video. So we all know Marie. Marie, come on stage. So Marie, so we all know you start the media very early, right?
Yes.
So did you start randomly that you just pick up your phone and say one day I'm going to record a video?
Yes, from day one.
From day one,
Yes.
like that, okay?
Yes.
And did you do everything yourself, like editing, shooting, just using cell phone?
Well, I would say I'm passionate about social media, And this is my self-driven. From day one, I know I'm the person who make content. And then because for my past experience, I was marketing and helping the local business to use in marketing and then grow their business. So I have the mindset. So from day one, and then I editing, I shooting, I post my post, and then everything doing by myself.
And then fast forward to today, how many followers do you have across all the platforms?
For myself, didn't include Kevin, my business partner, it's about over 100K from all over the platforms.
And at what point you feel like, at what point do you feel like working by yourself is not working anymore?
In the last 2 years,
In the last 2 years?
from
Okay.
2024. Yeah.
And I know you built, you're very intentional about scaling and building teams. How many people do you have on your team?
Well, we have 7 agents right now.
7 agents?
Yes.
And then you have team in China.
Yes.
Okay, how many people are in China working for you?
Can I say? Or no?
Yeah. You're here to share, right?
Well, we have 4 employees, full-time employee.
4. Okay.
Yes, in China.
So how long did it take you to build that team?
Well, you will be surprised. It's only a couple months.
Only a couple months.
Yeah.
So you can do a lot in a couple months.
Yeah, we can do a lot in one day.
Okay. Okay. So if someone here say, I'm going all in on social media tomorrow, what's your advice to them?
Well, don't be shy in front of the camera. I mean, no one care about like what are you talking, and then whether you look like, and then you don't have to be pretty, and then but as long as you have the personal value, and then you bring the value and your past experience, and then what is your opinion into this current market, and then one day your people like you or dislike you, it doesn't matter, right? So the people who come to you is like you already.
Yeah.
And then you only dealing with that people that already like you. Okay.
Yeah. I see a lot head nod. So I see a lot of people are nodding their heads.
Oh,
So
yeah.
you will learn more from Marie later on at the panel. Okay. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Next, where's Wilson? Wilson, come on stage. It's your turn. So Wilson started door knocking. And nowadays, when he goes to seminars, panels, he was introduced as smart farming.
Sure. Smart farming. But yes, I'm here to answer any questions you guys have.
So you started door knocking, right?
Yeah, so I'll go even further back. I started, if you could believe it, 16 years ago now. This is my 16th year in the business. I started when I was 22, out of college, and had no sales experience, never worked a W-2 job, helped my family, they were in the seafood trade business. I would skip school every 2 weeks, drive to Mexico with my dad, fanny pack of cash, meet fishermen, ship it to Hong Kong, and sell it in China. And I saw that you take risk, capital intensive business, the entrepreneurial spirit. I grew up in Chinatown, San Francisco. They had no assets when I was born. And as I grew up, they took risk and invested in real estate. I managed a property in San Francisco. And out of college, I said to myself, I studied a major in economics, minored in legal studies, 40 credits of accounting, but I could never see myself working for someone else. So I came to the beautiful business of real estate. And I would say a lot of this is luck. I stuck to it. 16 years of doing one thing. You take a lot of iterations, you make improvements. You have to be self-critical to the degree that you are willing to make changes. And in the beginning, going back to your question, I started cold calling. Back in the day, it was Mojo Dials, 3-line dialer. My goal was to do circle prospecting, reach out to people, ask them if they're willing to receive a follow-up call from me. But what I realized from that, as much as I captured a lot of people's contact information or their permission, is that I still had to make a first impression when I met them in person. So to a lot of the farmers, Anson included, is you have to put yourself out there. Even nowadays, so I pivoted cold calling to farming. And farming, I had a group of friends that always grabbed coffee at Phil's Coffee. And I told myself, hey, I can't hang out with my friends unless I go out and farm for an hour. Otherwise, why would I give myself permission to spend coffee when I haven't made any money? So in the beginning, it's about measuring small wins. Do you expect a listing from the first time you go out or the first month you go out? Probably not. So measuring small wins to me means you reward yourself incrementally based on what is actually rewarding for yourself. So other times I would go grab a Costco slice of pizza just because after 2 hours of farming in the sun, that's just rewarding. But eventually you find your first listing. It took me 6 months. I got my first listing. I intentionally picked a farm that was not affluent. I didn't grow up there, didn't live there, didn't go to school there. And it was really just an area that I knew there was no dominant agent. That was the number one thing I looked for. There was no one else trying. So if I tried, my barrier to entry was a lot lower. It was lower hanging fruit. And that was South San Francisco. Now we're #1 market share in South City. In fact, if you combine the city north and the city south and a couple cities in North San Mateo County, we are still #1. And it's just a byproduct of 15 years. Well, I started farming maybe 12, 11 years ago. It's a byproduct of just doing something consistently. Now going to smart farming, nowadays our postcard has one side of traditional information about real estate, and the other side is we created, it's partially luck. We have a video that had 60,000 views about the big changes that are coming to San Mateo. I don't know if anyone's seen my YouTube before. Maybe it's popped up. If you live in the area, it might deliver it to you. But I'm basically talking about the requirements that the state mandated for housing. Where are they being built? Which projects are canceled? Are cities losing their ability to enforce zoning and their own code and their own decisions to the state? And the answer is yes. And a lot of people are commenting on it because they're curious about what's changing in their city that they live in. And with that, I would say if I'm sitting at a coffee shop, I'm probably very similar to some of the members here on the panel as well. You go to random restaurants, random coffee shops, you put yourself out there. It comes with the territory. My wife hates me for it, but I get recognized, and I say thank you so much for watching my content. But for the most part, I always have my hat, my sunglasses on, try to stay discreet, but it comes with the territory. So anyways, I'll stop there. That's the journey so far.
Okay, so I'm just curious, going back, right, when you were 20s, and how can you let a senior trust you?
Yeah.
Since you're just a boy, right?
Yeah, I was a boy at 22. So here's the thing I always have said, if you heard me speak before, is I got out of college, got my license, and I went into real estate. I couldn't convince my friends to work with me because they weren't ready to buy or sell. They just started their career just like I did. And nor should they trust me because I just got my license. And I couldn't convince my friends to convince their parents to work with me, who actually owned real estate. So I was forced, or I forced myself, to go out and prospect cold. And it's a blessing in disguise looking backwards, because if I only depended on the people that knew me or liked me, that is a very small group of people. And I needed to grow my influence or grew who knew of me. So over time, whether it's farming, cold calling, whether it's social media, it's just, are you putting yourself out there? And I think my best tip for you is you set a minimum standard of production. Minimum standard of production is how many pieces of content you actually release and post. It doesn't matter the camera angle, the lighting was imperfect, your microphone didn't work properly, your hair, you had a piece of lint on your shirt, it doesn't matter. What's the minimum production standard you set today for next week, at the end of the week? Did you do it or not? And that's the only thing I measured. Of course, I measure now quality, if you could hit that output measure. And then the best thing I will share that has been helpful for me, that I don't really think about anymore, but for those that are along the journey, and then I'll pause after, is that Ed Milet said it very well. People are not thinking about you. People are thinking about what you're thinking of them. We always, figuratively think that the spotlight is on us. It really isn't. I'll give you an example. I'm an introvert. I've conditioned myself over 15, 16 years of this business to present. With that said, I'm here for you. I'm not here to think about, am I looking good, sound good, am I sharing something that I think is valuable to you? I mean, that's important to me, but at the end of the day, if we walk away from here today and receive something of value, it makes me feel good, and that's why I'm doing this. And a lot of people help me along the way in my journey too.
Thank you so much for sharing. And over here, how many of you are in your 20s? How about, I thought my question is helpful for people in their 20s. What about 30s? You can still do it, right? Okay, thank you so much. And we'll dive deeper later. Let's welcome the 3 panelists on the stage, and let's have a seat. Yeah. Okay, let's talk about AI. Because everybody is talking about AI, right? But not many are using effectively. So let's start with Wilson. What are you using?
Yeah, I can get into so much detail. I used to hire an agency to research and write all of my law firm scripts. Everything's done through Claude now. That video, if you go to Bayer Wilson on YouTube, every video, I would say 9 out of 10 of them are written by AI, researched by AI. The quality of the input is the quality of the output you get. If you prompt it to ask you questions before giving you an output, guess what? It'll ask you questions that only you know that's personal to you, that for you to answer, to utilize what you're trying to get out of it. So aside from scripts, nowadays there's such a thing as, you guys heard, OpenClaw, Claude Code, Claude Cowork, all those things. I currently use Claude Cowork. It's native in my computer. With a click of a button, or it runs automatically as long as my laptop's open. I know when I'm gonna be in office, my laptop's open, so it runs automatically. If anyone has seen our Instagram content before, I have a Claude Cowork that researches, writes, and injects it directly into my spreadsheet. So by the time I need to film, I just copy and paste all the scripts, and then I just film. The other things is automated blog posts. The other thing is, you should test this. Pull your MLS stats for the neighborhood that you are sending a summary of data to a client. Pull the last 2 years of comps. Give Claude the data and say, hey, create as many creative, fun graphs that is helpful for me to understand this market. And it will give you things that you will be amazed that you would have had to research or spend hours on to create to send to your client. And those are customized to you. If you say, hey, at the top right corner, add my logo, or in the image, add my watermark of my logo, we'll do it for you too. So it is a tool that you could use to enhance what you do. The other key takeaway that I think is very important to share, and I'll stop, is if you have access to it, your clients have access to it. So what makes it different from them using it versus you? Then it's just a matter of potentially access. That's why the MLS, you pay for membership and subscription. Some of that data is proprietary, only you have access to it. That's where maybe you have a leg up with your client too. But there's just so much that we could talk about in this.
Sounds like I'm talking to the right person. So you're using Claude every day?
I would say so, yeah. Drafting emails, creating content, visuals. One last thing and I will stop. A very fast one. Have you guys heard of vibe coding before? Replit, Lovable, Base 44. These are the main ones. Google's probably going to dominate the space eventually. We vibe coded a dashboard for a team on Replit. And before I prompt Replit, I always have it on Claude, so it actually gives me the code to paste to Replit. So it's both serve as a production tool, but also a thinking tool. What is in the dashboard? We gamified how our agents are tracking stats. There's confetti when they input stats, as an example. There's a leaderboard. There's transactions that we track. So, I mean, could you use KW Command or whatever tool you have? Yes, you can. But we wanted everything in one space. I also, if anyone has used Asana, Trello, any of these linear, any of these project management tools, you can vibe code it and you can model anything you want. And Claude will give you the code, copy and paste it. Rebel will take 5 minutes, and you have a product to use for yourself. Sure, there's bugs, and maybe there is a need for a natural interest for it. That's what we use it for too.
I saw you came from seafood background, not engineer background. Oh, yeah, you can talk. You can talk afterwards. Okay, so definitely, it saved your time. Did that make you money?
I would say it has. There are 2 of the last 3 in the last 7 days listing consultations that have outreach to me found me through ChatGPT. Is that intentional? Maybe. I don't expect it. I expect more from farming efforts than I do from AI AEO search, right? But the thing is, you have to find peace in your own capacity and your own knowledge and energy that you choose to put in your business. Here's what I mean. When I'm on my laptop in my bed at 10 p.m. and I value my sleep a lot and I track it with my Whoop, you have to find peace in knowing that there's always more work to do. Where you choose to sleep, where you choose to be with your family, where you choose to not work anymore. So it's a balance of effectively using your time and energy and what are you going to do. Hopefully your self-interest is into some of the things that we're talking about or what you're working on. And that is honestly your competitive advantage, right? Because someone always will work more hours, do more on a certain avenue of something that you're thinking of doing, but your competitive advantage is you staying the course and you measuring yourself and finding joy in what you do and saying at the moment at 10 or 10:30, whatever your bedtime is, I had an effective day and I could end the day. Anyways,
Yeah.
I'll stop.
And AI helped us move faster and be more effective at our work. And let's go to the other side. AI, Anson. Did someone find you through ChatGPT?
Actually, no. So yesterday there was one said they find me on ChatGPT, so I'm about to interview with him tomorrow. So the way I use AI, I basically use AI. I mean, AI is equal to Anson if I put it on the postcard. That's pretty much how I use my AI. I really, it's still learning for me. What I use AI is thanks for Marie and Kevin. That I use AI to voice over some partial of my video. Besides that, I start using AI for my voice message, and that's pretty much it.
Who put the other white essay on your social media, on your flyer?
Those are my marketing people put it together. Yeah.
Okay, so if you're not using AI, probably your marketing person or videographer is using some kind of AI.
I think they are, but I'm not sure what they do.
You don't care. Just put
I
AI
do
out
care,
there.
but I'm just saying, like, it's not up to my knowledge that I'm still in the learning process. So,
Thank you. And Gigi and Marie, do you have anything to add on what you are using daily?
I think Wilson is the pro in this room.
Definitely, yes.
Yeah, so
We will all talk to him afterwards.
Yeah.
If I could share one thing too. You might know us from social media. Personally, I still play it for sport. Less than 15% of my business is from media. Majority is from farming. So, especially I still focus on the listing side of the business on the team too. So, as much as we talk about AI and tools and social media, honestly, a lot of my business is very traditional.
Okay, let's switch gear because AI can help us do a lot of things, but if we don't put ourselves out there, we're invisible. Yeah. Okay, let's talk about social. Okay, you want to add something?
I want to say something about AI. So it's a very efficient tool. So from last year, I think some of my previous clients, they said, okay, Gigi, you don't need to help us to read the Discord package. We can use the ChatGPT to read the whole Discord package. So that's the first time for me to think about, okay, in the future, in the near future, next 2 to 5 years, what is my real value for my clients? Because they can talk with the ChatGPT. This is my budget, this is my requirement, what kind of area I need to target. Who is the best buy agent or listing agent in that area? Maybe that's Marie, maybe the Wilson. So, and then I think about it, okay, what should we do when the AI comes to our life? And then my conclusion is, for the real estate agent, maybe our final role maybe just to take the responsibility. Yeah, if that we still have a lawsuit issue, and AI will not take the responsibility, but we will.
Yeah, we are the person to blame. Right?
That's my final conclusion. But on the other side, I totally agree with that. All agents who want to grow their business, they should try to think about it, how to put their name in the AI system, ChatGPT or no matter Gemini. Try to let your clients to can fund you in the AI system. So this is one thing. The second thing is just that Diana mentioned that AI helped us move fast, but I want to think about it, how to help us move smart. So think about it. So I don't know how many agents been here in this industry less than 4 years or 3 years, less than 3 years. How many? No? Okay. Okay.
By the way, they should be here.
Yeah, so I think compare with, 10 years ago, so right now if you jump into this industry, it's more difficult to grow up your business. So try to use them and think more about it, how to work smart, how to more efficient to work in this business.
Thank you for your sharing. And social media. Let's jump back to social media. Automatically, the microphone is in Marie's hand. So a lot of us, we're saying, okay, I want to start social media. First of all, what's one thing you see agents, they're overthinking? What's stopping them from doing social media?
I think the number one is the negative feedback from social media. And then if you really care about what people think about you, and then you're not the one who's doing social media. Is it true?
To this point, yeah, we care way too much about what people think. Sure, it needs to be shared, it needs to be liked, people need to comment, and then that engagement actually pushes your content to more strangers. So in some ways we need to care, but we care too much about the things that don't matter. We waste our energy thinking about those things.
In the initial stage, I agree with Wilson, your point. But in my early career, and then I'm the person who care about what people think about myself, and then because I do care about how people will like me or not. But for the time going by, and then I always think those just a noise, and then those noise will stopping you from doing the thing that you want to do. So I will let people to think, and then just go whatever I want to do. What is my goal, and then what content should I put, and then I don't care. Like those people are still there, and then if you are thinking, oh, they saying anything about the bad thing about I don't care anymore. So but in my opinion, I think there's a lot of good people and good result and good outcome that coming from social media, and then that is keep myself from doing that because the majority of the business is still coming from my social media.
So what I hear is that you have goal and you have system, right?
Yes.
And then you are getting consistent results.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Let's get to practical practice, okay? I want to ask a lot of questions for you guys, to Marie and Wilson. First of all, what's the frequency that you should post on social media?
Well, I mean, the frequency is one question, but the question is, we have people post every day, but zero outcome. And then, but we have the people who post the video or the content once a month, but they still have the clients chasing them. So the thing is you need to position yourself. You need to know your specific knowledge. Novel saying that you have to find yourself, what kind of the knowledge you have. For me, I want to be in front of the people. And then for me, my natural is I can talk to the video. But I remember from day one, I shooting video, and then one of my best friends, she's like, Marie, what are you shooting? And then what are you talking about? I don't like your video, just stop it. And I was like, really? I mean, but yes, she was true, because my first year, my video is sucked. I mean, I just don't want to go back and see my old days video, and then that was making like so awkward. But everyone is coming from there, right? So think about like every people here, but if you're not doing the social media, that's fine, but starting tomorrow. I mean, it's never too late. But I mean, it's a little late right now, so.
Gigi, I saw your smile because yesterday I was checking out your YouTube, and your videos like 1 year ago, 3 years ago, 8 years ago, and Marie is saying it's too late. So, are you going to start social media or not at all?
Yeah, when we talk about the social media, I'm thinking about what's a social media, what's a social mean, right? We talk about the videos on YouTube, 小红书, yeah, that's a social media. That's a very popular social media today. But I know lots of people will be stopped here, right? I don't want to show my face on YouTube, on 小红书. So, but think about the social. If I stay with or with you, just two people, right? We are social, right? So the social is not a very big public platform. So you can have your influence, just maybe to one people, two or even three. So no matter what kind of it's a video, or I'm the attic person. So my the WeChat such kind of blog, I write 8 years already. Yeah, every week I put my knowledge for the real estate business and my life there. Even I think right now it's over 500 articles already. So that's also the social media. So I think let's go back to who are you? What kind of social media you want to use, right? Marine's video language is perfect. When I check her video, I say, okay, I will give up it. Because no matter how I work hard, I cannot have any advantage on the social language than her. But I can find my own language on the social media. So when I go back to 2018 to see my first article on my WeChat blog, I say, okay, I want to be the real estate agent from today. I really like this article. This one has more than maybe 5,000 to read already. I love that. So don't care about what kind of social media. Just do yourself and promote yourself and have your influence in surroundings. That's it.
So, Gigi, really good addition, because everybody's thinking social media as like online presence, right? But at the end of the day, you need to build up the in-person relationship and build the trust there. Going back to Marie, you mentioned content, consistency, and who you are branding. If you only pick one, which one you think is the most important? Content, consistency, branding.
And branding. I think all three are very important. I mean, we cannot without any those three components is making one account. So for me, I'm building trust from my social media. So people coming to me, they already like me. They already know who I am, and then they already know how do I dealing with deals, like how do I work every day. So I'm building a trust in front of people, so I'm not converting them. They already converted by my content already. Yes. And then all those is all coming from consistent content and also branding and branding. Yes.
And let me ask you, or if you don't mind sharing.
Yeah, you can ask me anything.
Okay. which content or which piece of content or the exact post brought you the most clients?
Well, there's a two different way, the two ways to making social media. The one way is how you care about the exposures, your impressions. Those are the things that you are talking about, the most hot topics, right? But those are not converting. I have a series of video on YouTube, and then I'm walking on the street when it was pandemic, and then the city is dead, like no one's there, and then maybe some of you are watching that video. Maybe you watched my video on the San Francisco is deading, and then I have like 500,000 views from the YouTube of that series. But well, I'm talking the negative thing about the city, right? But it didn't help my business, right? So no one is buying the home because of my content, but those really give my channel a lot of impressions. Okay, Zach. Okay, let me finish. I will answer the question. Okay. So, but the second way to do social media is what is the conversion? Like no matter it's only a couple hundred views, but you convert one lead, right? And then you have the new listing because of one post, but the post is only have a couple hundred views, and then that is successful. So from my perspective, I don't think in this specific, if I'm doing this show, I'm not 我不喜欢别人说我网红嘛，对，我觉得这个，yeah, no,
You asked me don't say that, and you said it yourself.
It's not something negative. If someone says I'm a welcome, I would be very glad.
好吧，我是网红。So my goal is how many leads conversion from my social media, and then I don't care about the exposures. I don't care about like how many followers do I have, but at the end of the day, and then we have converted like 3 or 5 listings in per week. There's from that social media, from that post, and then that's a successful case.
What's the name of the post?
The post?
Yeah.
I answered the question already. I mean, it doesn't care about the most. The most exposure is the 三番那个三番四.
Okay.
Yeah.
San Francisco. Okay.
So sorry, answer that question. 你说什么？不好意思。那个哦，小红书就是禁言吗？
对对。
你申请蓝 V 吗？
蓝 V 还是自己？你是蓝 V 是你？
She's big enough that Randall will not. Yeah, so very not. Okay, since we're in the same office, so I can be mean to you. Okay, let's challenge her, and all 4 of you. If I take away your social media, I take away your AI, how does your business look like? Answer with no effect.
Let's do that.
I think I'm okay.
You think you're okay?
I think I was still doing fine, but I'm not sure if I'm without social media. But I think for this stage, I already have my data clients, and then we can have a lot of referrals.
I thought you would say I'm dead.
And for us, it makes up 15% or less of the business, so it's not a big impact.
Gotcha. Okay, and let's move to the other side. Enough AI talk. Let's go to the real business, right? Let's go to farming. What's your exact system?
Can I talk a little bit about social media?
Yeah, of course. You don't have results.
Farming, you felt like So one thing I like to say special thanks to Marie and Kevin. So throughout the past 3 years, I learned about social media. Without them, I probably didn't do any social media today. One big thing I learned, I cannot talk about the success because I didn't have it. I can talk about what is not successful, okay, in social media. It was basically, I learned one thing is, there's a difference between you want to film something that you like versus something that your audience like to hear about this. I still remember this story, like when at the very beginning, I would spend like 3 hours, doing setting up make sure the camera is right, the lighting's right, the angle is right, the light, the content. Okay, sorry, I gotta repeat this. Then I spent like 3 hours to film that like 1 minute film. Then right after I worked with Marie, and then we go to walk around the house. We finished the whole filming in like 5 minutes. And I said, no, I want to repeat it. They say, no, we don't have to repeat it. So one thing I learned about this social media is a lot about the algorithm, the cover page, and also your keywords, and also who are your audience. What do they like to see rather than what do you want to film? So these are my lessons.
Continue holding the mic and talk about farming. What's your exact strategy around farming?
The exact strategy of farming is basically a lot of people thought like you can send out a postcard and then you're going to get result. The postcard is not going to do the talking for you. The postcard is not salesman. They are just some marketing tool. So what I did is I create the visibility through my signage, open house sign. Then after that, the consistency is by rolling out the postcard. And I personally show up at the open house and I connect with the neighbors. And through the connection with the neighbor, I convert that into the listing presentation and possibly the listing.
If someone sitting here say, I want to start a farm, what's your advice to them for the next 90 days?
Okay, so as the story I told you, it took me 4 years to, I'm sure like Bruce and have similar experience. The first thing is, if you think that you're gonna see a result in 90 days, then forget it, So the first 90 days is just for you to lay down your mindset for probably the next 5 years. And farming is very costly, and you have to ask yourself, why are you doing this? Why do you really like this business? Because any logical things, sometimes at point it doesn't make sense. And to a point that it doesn't make sense, but you're still doing this because of that area. You think that that area has something that really like. I like Rancho Reganada because that gives a lot of opportunity to create some new homes, some architecture in there. So, and I think like the reward come to a point that you almost quit, but you still keep going. You keep going a little by little. Maybe a lot of people tell you, hey, don't do this, you lost money on all this thing. You keep going a step. Eventually you reach there and the result come back.
And do you want to hear the secret from them? Yes? If you say yes, I'll ask. So what do you, when you get an appointment, what do you say to the seller will quickly distinguish yourself from other agents?
That's a great question. So what I would say I do not do is, I do not lead a listing presentation. I do not try to be comprehensive in the listing presentation. Instead, I start by asking questions. Then after that, the more they talk, the more they will tell you about the concern or the concern. I take as an example, I got a listing, which is a luxury 5+ million new home. A lot of times we think that, hey, we want to tell them I'm the best agent in this area, your house worth so much. In that listing presentation, the concern for them is how to prepare the house. And they are like two very successful engineers, but they don't know much about color. They say, hey, open up all the color, which one I should pick for the wall? There's white, but all different kind of white. So in that listing presentation, I just go into focus, talk about the white, why I want you to do this white, because this white color get a little bit gray, go with the transition style. Why does transition style bring you more sales? So just keep focusing on what they're concerned, rather than try to go into the other point that we try to be comprehensive or say, okay, about your sales volume, about you are the #1 agent, those doesn't mean much to them.
I asked this question for Paul because Paul is also an architect. Okay, let's go to the other side because Wilson, you work a little bit north, so there's no competition here. So you can say what you truly are talking to seller over there. What's your unique proposition?
By the way, there's no such thing as competition because we're talking about farming, right? Who has a farm in this room or wants one? Maybe it's where you live. And what's the initial feeling you get when a sign goes up in the yard? Maybe you just started farming. Maybe you farmed for 10 years. What's the initial feeling you get? Well, I think we refer to this as your average agent response in our team. What would the average agent do? The average agent would feel like they have lost something. The truth is, when you start farming, you are making your independent impacts and impressions with the people you just so happen to come across. So if someone had a stronger relationship, I'll give you an example. Marie might get a listing versus me because she has a relationship with the seller, although I was called to and I went to compete. I don't feel bad about that. And the reason why is Marie earned it. Marie had an established relationship that I did not have. And the truth is, as long as you give your best when you farm and you give your best at any appointment, if you can say you gave your best in that moment, that's all you can control. You cannot control Marie's relationship. You cannot control Anson's market share in this market. What you can control is your own actions and the way you think. So, but going to that question, what I focus on at the consultation, it makes a lot of sense what Anson said, it is not about me, it is about the consumer. The consumer called me because they see something in us that compelled them to reach out, and guess what? You don't have to make it up, you don't have to assume. Why don't you just ask? You can just ask, hey, I really appreciate you calling me today. I'm sure you have some questions. My goal is to answer all of your questions. And out of curiosity, how did you find us? Out of curiosity, you've talked to 2 agents already. What has caused you not to move forward with either one yet? What are you looking for? What have you heard that you really appreciate, that you like, and you really don't like? What have you not heard yet that is important to you, that no one has talked about? And you just got every single data point of what you need to build a convincing reason why you should be the person to work with. And guess what? I didn't make any of it up. I just asked questions. It's the same exact thing. When you go on the listing console and it's apples, 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 and you're the orange, and I'll give you an example. It's the same exact one Hanson said, just maybe in a different way. If everyone is selling the reason why they should be the agent that the client should work with, and you're the only one that shows up to put no pressure on them to make a decision, to answer all of their questions, to ask really smart questions, because the quality of your questions will dictate the quality of the answers that they're going to give you. And you say, I want you to think about it. Take the weekend. If you have any additional questions, text me or call me anytime. Thank you so much. Truth be told, I am a 2-call closer. Anyone trained on 1-call closing, I will beat you. For sure. Because I am the orange compared to all the apples. And that lasts a little bit. I'm sure in our own way, in your way, you are convinced and compelled that you are the best agent. Because if you're not, if you don't think you are the best, guess what? You're gonna lose, right? So you have to think you're the best either way. No matter if it's Anson's Farm, South City, luxury, low price point, it doesn't matter. When you walk into an appointment, do you believe you will win? What's your best way to win? For us, at least so far, it's asking real good questions. And you know what? I'm just here to spend time with you. And it's your independent decision to make. I'm not here to convince you to do anything. That's it.
Thank you. Thank you so much. It's not about selling. It's just all about them, about how we help them.
In fact, the selling is inverted because you're not selling. You're helping them self-discover what's important. And maybe they haven't even verbalized that with their spouse or anyone else. And if you're the consultant that's able to help them express that, and you're the only one that did that, they're gonna work with you.
Thank you. And now let's do something fun. Let's create a little tension over here, okay? Let's battle.
I saw the ring downstairs.
Yeah, that's why I thought of this idea.
All right, let's go.
Yeah, okay, let's go. First of all, round one. Farming versus relationship. So, Anson, do you think relationship is enough?
I think relationship is a lot more important than farming.
Oh, Gigi, do you agree with that? Now Gigi wins, right? So, I saw you add listing strategy after you create all this relation. You are also farming nowadays.
Yeah, I did. But for my farming, most of the time in that community, in that box, I sold in the highest price already, and then I do farming. But the first one is come from my previous relationship, something like it. I think that's all efficient.
Farming and relationship, which one costs less?
Definitely, I think relationship. Yeah.
Okay. How much do you spend on farming?
Wow, she's insane.
I answer this.
I'm asking the right question.
Somewhere between $20,000 to $30,000 a month. Yeah.
Okay, round two. System and hustle. For you ladies in the middle, I know you're hustlers to begin with, right? Do you think hustle is enough in today's market?
I used to think hustle is enough, but then I think system is the most important.
What about you?
I'm
You think so?
System. Yeah, system is in my life every day.
Okay, so if you only learn one thing today, I want you to remember the word system. Round three. Short-term attention and long-term impressions. This is for Marie and Wilson, because Wilson put a lot of like long-term community videos out there. And, yeah, and to me, I feel like you're the one, Marie, the one getting my attention, right? Or storytelling. And Wilson, I was like, oh, you're in the community. You're like long-term neighbor.
You do both, right? Yeah,
You
we
do
do both.
both.
Yeah,
Okay.
we do both. And it just really depends on what kind of what position are you putting on out there.
Okay.
I mean, in today, if you're a beginner of the social media, of course the short-term video is gonna be much easier. But for me, I would think now we are also focusing on the long-term video as well, especially I think the most important thing right now people is the time and attention. So whatever can attract the people to spend more time and attention to you, and then you're the winner. So
You guys just don't.
you agree?
I do agree too, and let's just say, to Marie's point, a short form video that might take 45 seconds or less, if you screw up in a 45-second video, it probably doesn't really matter because you got a lot more. But if we're producing 12 to 15 and 20-minute videos and there's one fact that's wrong in there, I don't know about Marie, but I would feel hesitant to post it because then I'm going to be promoting false information or incorrect information. So it is more critical to get the long form right, which makes anything that's harder, which I would say the long form is much harder, the better, the moat is higher. Like, there's a bigger moat for it because it's so hard one to do. But both are important. I mean, look at your iPhone metrics and how often have you picked up your phone and which app you opened up first. Was it text? Was it email? Was it Instagram, Xiaohongshu? Any of these, right? And at the same time, I don't know if most people know this, but on YouTube, I would say, I don't know if it's half or a little bit less, a far big chunk of people are watching YouTube videos on their TVs now. So they expect to consume long form content. They expect the value to be there for 12 minutes plus. So it needs to be dense with good information and visuals. Anyways.
Okay, although we only have 3 rounds, per Anson's request last night, he wants to challenge Marie. Marie, let me ask you, if you have 20
I want to mention, mentor, are you really? Are you seriously? I was like, I mean, I would say, one thing I want to say, my mentor Anson is being my owner, sitting with him together on the stage. I never thought it's gonna be one day. It's so just Wilson and Gigi. Yeah, because I'm the newest compared to them. I'm
So challenge is, with 20 or 30K, how would you spend monthly?
The question you have for me? Oh, because you're there. Well, I will pay my VA and my team to help me to do the things that I don't want to do every single day.
Okay, gotcha. Thank you. Yeah.
Anson, you have a question?
I should answer also. I would, if you have like 20 to 30K, I would definitely take a vacation, you know, like spend half of your money to go to enjoy your life, and then during your trip,
20
think
and
about
30K is not enough for you.
Not for you. I know it's for you. It's not enough. For me, I would spend half of my money to take a vacation. Half of them during the vacation time to think about your work. The other half you can put in your marketing. I would definitely put on my farming.
Let's say for average agent, we only have 2,000 budget. What's your advice?
Do open house. Help other people to do open house. Yeah. Yeah. You have more than plenty. Open house is free. Yeah.
Oh, sorry. It's my question? Oh, my question. Okay, 2,000? I don't want to spend 2,000 when the first year to the second year. I think 2,000 for me that time is a lot. I'm doing my video and editing and then shooting. This is zero money. It's my time, right? And by that time, I think my time is doesn't worth that much as right now. But if I can have the $2,000, if I was back then in my early stage, I will pay my editor to edit my video.
Is this valuable? Am I asking the good questions? Okay, let's step back. Okay, let's think about it. What's the one thing you learned today? Just pick one. What's the one thing that you can implement right away after you go home?
Nothing.
Okay, so now we have about 15 minutes Q&A. Let's get, let's say, 3 to 5 questions. And I want good questions, like Wilson said. The better the question, the better quality of the answer. So if you think your question will help at least 10 people in this room, let's have it. Say your name and ask the question.
So this is just any question on anybody on the panel. Have you guys done any advertising or any ads, like Facebook ads or Instagram? And what are the options of the ads compared to just natural or like social media, right? Just like normal posts.
I can answer that. I've probably spent about maybe 30,000 over the years on meta ads. The specific ads that I run are new construction leads. So I'll give you an example. If you could name 3 to 5 coming soon new builds that are being worked on, I can almost guarantee it's really hard to find information on it. Sure, as an agent, you might have limited information as well. Maybe the only thing you have is a city planning proposal from the builder that's made public record. But you can take those renderings, you can take those facts, and you can create a carousel on it. And I would say you probably could get a lead form filled out on Meta for $2 to $4 per lead. And if you want to build a really wide funnel of leads for your team or for yourself to call, you could probably create hundreds of leads. Let's say 100 for every $3 in the middle. That's $300 for 100 leads in your database that you could choose if you call or you drip through the system. The thing about meta ads is it's not very high intent, right? You're forcing it into the feed that someone is not expecting it, but they are curious. I would say the statistics are if you intentionally pick a higher end area or development, you're likely going to have more people that are requesting it, and less people that think your advertising ads will rent. So that's one way that you could do it. That's what we've done
就知道你给我。
I have two questions. One is actually for all of the panelists. One of the biggest questions specifically in today's market is that we actually experience a lot of things that like the sellers' expectation are actually higher than what the actual market is doing. So I want to ask, because each of you top producers, you're facing sellers almost every day. So what is your response to the seller if they are asking like, hey, do you think I can set this price, right? Would you just take it, the list first and then risk not selling it, right? Like spend a lot of time and money and effort and eventually get this canceled? Or you want to tell them upfront at the business station and then see what they want to do from it? That's one general question for everybody. I want to hear what you say. The second question specifically for Marie is that I know, pretty much I know like Gigi has been speaking very clearly. She's kind of like a life first, and I know pretty much Anson does not have a lot of kid issues and so forth. But for you, you have, I think you have children, and you are so busy creating life, and I think your career is actually at a booming stage. So how do you balance? Actually, I think this is the question of many of the agents here. How do you balance between life, especially with kids, especially education?
I have one question for you, Sean. Why wouldn't you ask Wilson and then ask me? Because I'm a mom. Yeah, he's a dad.
Maybe I don't know, because I'm actually feeling difficult in this right here, actually.
Right.
Yeah. So yeah, why don't you say this, Wilson? Yeah, go ahead. Yeah, Wilson. Yeah, it's actually I think this is a good question for you as well. Yeah.
Answer the first question.
Yeah, I think the first question. Yeah, I think.
Okay. So for me, whether the market is good or bad, I never set up the expectation that someone trying to reach something. I always under sales, and at the end I over deliver. So I find in this market sometimes it's easier. My sales, meeting at the very beginning, I always tell them the truth. Market is not good. This is the range I think that you can sell. If you cannot take that like 5 to 10%, below what you're expecting, then maybe you have to think about it. Then I have to think about it too. Whether I should take your listing. I don't want to take your listing, sit there, and not sell it. But the question come to here is, some of the listing when you signed it, market was good, but now you go on the market already. So I spent a lot more extra time before the house go on the market to communicate with them through all these different comps and say, hey, this might be the case. You might hit that. We gotta go price, let's say price low, go on the market. Hopefully we hit that number. And I spend a lot more extra time to do that. But sometimes at the end of the day, they change. They still once you go on the market, you hit that number, and then they still say, hey, that's not the number I want, because the next door neighbor, they sold about 5% higher. So that is tough. I think at this moment, you just have to demonstrate what you need to do the best for the listing and take yourself away from the listing. What I meant is the reality, like Wilson said, my attitude is always, we are here to serve you. We're not here to come to make decision for you. At the end of the day, we are nothing a lot different than a waiter, or we come here to serve the people, and they are the ones to make the final decision.
Yeah, I think today's market is very difficult for sellers. I can share one story. So we sold 3 listings during the past 2 days. So one of them, we put it on the market at the September or October last year. At that time, we received offer at one price at 1.68. And the seller rejected that offer because the other one sold in the same community at 1.7. And at the early of this year, we put it on the market again, put it back. The price what we get is 1.64, and the seller rejected. And the day before yesterday, they accept an offer at 1.55. Yeah, actually that house, for that family, we helped them do 4 transactions already. Yeah. buy the condo, sold the condo, buy the single family with a very limited lot size, and then buy the house in Cupertino with a very big lot size. Yeah, so that whole thing goes through half year, and we feel so sad that finally accept the offer, the price much lower than the original price. So we go through everything, and honestly speaking, I have the same feeling with them. So if we go back, why we didn't accept the offer at 1.68? But I also talk with them. So maybe today we accept the lowest price on the market, and maybe 3 months later, 6 months later, the price will go up. But if we received that, we accept this offer, that means the target of this house is ended. So you, in this house, you grow from couple family to a full, the big family with 2 kids, right? That's what this house do for our family, right? So this is what we will talk about, not only for this house. It's about part of journey of life, of our life, or even longer. For example, after 10 years or 20 years, when I go back to this house, what's our feeling? After we sell it, how can we use this money? So I think for the real estate agent, it's not a real estate agent. We are a real estate advisor for their family, for their whole life. This is our role in their life. Yeah, that's my opinion.
So, as a listing agent, we go to the listing appointment every single week. From a buyer agent to listing agent, we using only 9 months, and then we transition from buyer agent to listing agent. I think, from my perspective, I think how to evaluate this listing is a good listing. I see 3 ways. So if the 3 ways is fulfill the 2 of them out of 3, and then I think it's a good listing. So number 1 is the house. Is a house is a house in a location, good location, or is a condominium or a townhouse in that location? And then the second point is their expectation, like Sean asked. If their expectation is unrealistic, they want more than the market value, and then no, right? And then the third thing is how's the seller, the personality, and then how do you interaction with them? Are you have a good chemistry being together? If yes, then yeah. So if looking at 3 ways, if there's 2 out of 3 is fulfillment, and I think I can go for it. So that's why there's a lot of listings I say no, because once you take the bad listing and then you're taking a limited time and efforts and then 0 results. So I be nowadays market, I be very careful. I picking the listing. I'm very picky on listing right now because we have the experience that we spend tons of the time and then have 0 income for the listing. Yeah.
I think there's a lot of expectation setting you need to do. Context is I only do listings. It's been 8 years. I have a whole team. We have 2 listing coordinators. Each year I do about maybe 45 to 60 listings successfully sold. Honestly, it's sometimes you don't know. Sometimes in good faith, you sit across the seller and they have a great conversation with you and you set really good expectations and your expectations change or the market changes as Anson suggested and you can't predict it. Which I think as an experienced agent, then you start to think, all right, we've been burned a couple times. Every single time rates went up to 7% in the last 4 years. So I do need to set the expectation that unforeseen, out of our control things will happen. And if that happens and the rates go up and you don't sell for this price, do you still want to sell? And if the answer is no, then I will say, great, would it make sense for you to wait until another spring season? Or do you want to accomplish your goals now? Because at the end of the day, a price is one small detail of what they want to do. I'll give you an example. If they sell for a certain price and net a certain price after taxes, what does that do for them in their next phase in life? Unless they're just an investor selling their investment property and there's no future kind of like, let me rephrase this. What's the opportunity cost of selling or not selling, or getting this price or not getting this price? If it's an owner that lives there and they want to move up, move out of area, guess what? They're gonna put their life on hold because they can't get an extra $50,000 on 1.6 and 1.65. That sounds unreasonable. And if they are unreasonable, maybe you shouldn't take that piece of business. And maybe you can indirectly tell them that they're unreasonable and see if they have a response. Because at the end of the day, someone will promise a 1.7 and will beat you every day on a promised price, whether that's reality or not. And your job is to help them understand what the reality is in the market. The opposite is, all right, it's an investment property. You're gonna pay some capital gains. You're gonna net a certain amount of money. If that certain amount of money is in this property now and you're getting X return on a cash flow basis and also appreciation with rates being higher, maybe it's not as abundant. What's the opportunity cost if you sold it, you had this cash and you put it in fixed income? You had this and you put it in S&P 500, Vanguard index. What's the opportunity cost? What's the value of you selling your investment property and paying off a certain debt that you have on your primary residence? I can't quantify that value for you, but what is that worth for you not to worry about that big monthly payment anymore? So they will share with you how they think, and you will assess to say to yourself, is this worth my time? Because the truth is, going now to the kid question, I have a 2.5-year-old and a 3-month-old. My whole career had prepared me for this stage to build a team. Thanks to KW, shout out to KW, team building, career visioning. If you haven't taken that class, we should get that in the region. Is that by 3:30, 4 p.m. at the end of the day, when my son wakes up, my 2.5-year-old, I take him to the park. And that's my responsibility. That is more important than me taking a call. That is more important than many things in my life at this point. And you have to have a really good supporting cast to help you so you can say that it's important and actually follow through delivering whatever that activity is.
So you're saying with your intention, work and life can be balanced.
Work and life can be balanced. Going back to the statement I said earlier, if you make a decision that you're going to get 7.5 hours of sleep and you're supposed to be sleeping at 10, you have to say, hey, I'm at peace, I had a productive day, I did the best I can fall asleep.
And quickly, Marie, do you agree you can have work-life balance?
I do agree, as long as, so we have a part-time nanny, and then to cook and do laundry and then cleaning. And then we have a driver to send my kids to school and pick it up. And then we pay the VA, and then also we pay for our operation for doing the marketing.
I'm sure Gigi has work-life balance. And then what about Anson? Anson is the one text me at 10:11.
My work life is very balanced, but my answer to this is work and life cannot be balanced when you are building up this business. And I haven't seen anyone who want to achieve something great. You know, if you look at this, I see this as not a real estate agent. I see this as an entrepreneur. If you look at all these people achieving big things, maybe Steve Jobs, at certain point in their life, their work life is not balanced. One distinct platform, then you can talk about work-life balance.
Okay.
So for me, I think I don't agree with the balance. So some people, especially the female, being challenged how to keep the balance. I think the thing is a priority at the different stage. So some stage you can put, okay, I want to run this business very successful for your highest priority. For the maybe some years you can set up your priority to be take care of your families and kids. No balance. It's what's the first priority?
So it's always a priority question for yourself.
It's a design.
Mm-hmm.
Design your life.
Design and decision. Yeah. Okay. Mark has a question over here.
Thank you for giving me this opinion. So as a listing agent, I know this year is a pretty tough market for the listing agent. Homes stay on market much longer than before. So my question is you talk to the seller for the price reduction. It's pretty tough conversation. So what does your script work best for you and the seller?
What was the question again?
About conversation with the seller. for the price reduction. The home stay on market for like a few weeks, and you know the market change shifting, and so the best strategy for the seller is to reduce the price. How do you start the conversation, and what's the best script for you?
Right. That conversation actually started before like you reduce it. Before you go on the market, you already started. I think the best strategy for me, I usually say, when the house go on the market, if 2 weeks, 3 weeks, we don't see the result, you gotta sit down and talk about adjustment. So, but sometimes you will still hit the seller saying, oh no, I'm not going to readjust it. That is tough. So you have to think about how you do make the comparable, or what is the thing that they really want to achieve in their life. Maybe they sell it, they gotta move on to something else.
Yeah, talk everything with the seller before you set up your listing price. Yeah, tell them what's the strategy you want to set up this listing price, and if we cannot sell it 1 week, 2 weeks later, what we will do, and then after 4 weeks, what we will do. Just let them know everything before you set up the listing price and share your strategy with them.
When the traffic to the open house is not as good as expected, which means your price is wrong, right? And then we can provide the number after the open house, and then also the disclosures down low. But if the numbers didn't work, and then using the number to persuade the seller.
I think it's a really important thing to make certain that you are not the person, and you make it clear, nor is the seller responsible for what. We do not decide what it sells for. We can encourage people to come take a look. We can beautify the home so it presents really well. We can price it right so the top of the funnel is larger, so more people come take a look. But at the end of the day, it's still something that we do not control, whether a buyer falls in love or doesn't, writes an offer. So with that said, it does start at the beginning. You do set really good expectations. You do bake in your conversation that, hey, if we aren't getting the foot traffic or the results, there probably is going to be an adjustment that we're going to need to make sometime in the future. Because at the end of the day, the market, the buyer, dictates what you sell for. Then you might have the argument and say, well, then if you're saying that, what's the difference between hiring you versus someone else? And that's a very valid question. It also needs to be supported with the fact that you can prove through data or through your presentation or your preparation process for that seller that you get agreement from the seller that they see you did everything you could in your control, right? Because are there more things in selling a property in our control or out of our control? The Iran war started. Last year, Liberation Day. Inflation is higher than expected. The neighbor down the street has a nicer home and bigger home than us. Do we control any of that? The answer is no, but what we can control is our presentation. So then you start having ammo against your seller. Well, let's think about this real quick. At the consultation, you chose not to paint your home. I recommended that. You wanted to price at this price. I recommend this price. As long as you get agreement that they're gonna work with you and you are the pro that they're hiring, and there's certain things that they're not willing to do, it's never your fault as long as you have the proper expectation setting that they did not get the result because of 2 reasons. Some things they chose not to do that would enhance their property. They chose convenience over getting more money. And then the other is you just don't control other things in the marketplace. And you have to explain that up front at the consultation. Because your average agent, going back to that, your average listing agent is going to walk in there, promise a price, show the comps, give a plan A and not talk about plan B, plan C, but plan B. But your job is to explain the whole process, what could happen, the likelihood, but what you're gonna do to mitigate it. But if it does happen, we're prepared. This is the move that we got, to the point of setting it early.
Thank you. Oh, okay. One last question, okay? Make it strong for the audience. It's strong, I promise. I'd like to ask you about your philosophy on partners and referrals. So I'm a CPA and a realtor. I speak English. 我国语也可以，广东话也可以，广东话也可以。 I used to live in South San Francisco, get your flyers all the time in Anson, now I'm in Muscatus. So what I tell my clients, especially working with investors, is I have to go to different geographic locations or property types, and I am overall knowledgeable, but experts in specific area or property, I will find partners in business referrals. So what are you looking for when you're looking for referrals and business partners? Because by extension, they're part of your reputation, right?
Well, if I have a lead, like said, from Wilson's farm and Anson's farm, I would definitely will invite them to go to with my listing appointment. And then that's the chance of the meeting would be booming huge. Like recently, Anson and I will have 2 listings that will be co-listing together. And then the conversion is, because Anson's conversion rate is already 80 and 90. And then if you, I support, if you support each other, it's gonna be 100. I would say 99%, yeah. So I would say finding someone that is specialized in the area, and then, but for my case, and then I have a business partner, Kevin Mo. He told me that do not mention his name, but I do want to mention. I do want to mention his name is because I think to finding a very perfect partner is like I don't think it's who has a partner, business partner. Yeah, Gigi does, right? So I think 我觉得有一个，我用中文讲吧。我觉得就是有一个就是非常好的这个 business partner， 我觉得你就可以去意大利跟夏威夷了嘛，對唔對？所以我覺得你可以去找一個自己，你可以去揾到你即係 OK 嘅冇問題嘅，即係你有佢冇佢有你冇嗰啲人，就係我同 Kevin 就係啦，yeah。
That's very good. I mean, I also look at the partner not just in terms of the geographic location, but the expertise. Because I do partner a lot with Marie. Because some of the area when I go in there, I have no expertise, or maybe that area actually need a broader, social media broadcasting, and we partner on the expert with the different agent.
I think that's a very, very good question. So, if as a real estate agent, if you are a self-employee, that's very easy. You don't need a partner. Just do your business. You earn all money. But if you want to go to the next step, you need your partners or your team. That's a very hard part, for me at least. Yeah. So I spent maybe 3 years, 4 years to set up my solid system, to set up my 3 partners, listing side partner, buy side partner, and the investment partners. That's why I could go to, right now I go all over the world each month. Yeah, maybe 1 week or 2 weeks. So it's very, very hard because in this area, in this industry, everybody is very smart. In Bay Area, everybody is very smart. Most of the people want to learn something from the expert or professional guys in this business, and then they will do their own business. Okay, so that's why I've been hurt many times. But then I think, no, I have to figure out how to find the good partners. So go back, you need to know who you are and what kind of thing you need to get help from your partners. And then what you can give to them. That's the best important thing. What you can share with them. So I always ask my partners, how much money you want to earn every year? Did you get your money? Did you bring your money back? Go home. If we can touch this basic goal, and then we can move forward together. And of course, many other things. So before I start this conversation, my team members just in the group said, okay, let's us have a lunch together to celebrate Gigi's birthday. I feel so good, so warm. Today is the birthday? No, not today, not today, not today, not today, not today. So we are planned for that. So I think it's a very hard part in this business. to get the business partner, but definitely we worth to spend time to find the right person to stay with you.
So for the last 3 minutes, I prepared a rapid fire questions. Let's make it clear and quick. How about that? If you miss something in the middle, you don't want to miss this, okay? If you're talking, come back here. Okay, let's start. Question number 1. If you want to start all over again, let's say I take away everything, start all over again, what would you do in the first 30 days? Whoever wants to answer.
Don't consume anything. Just care about your output. Don't consume social media. Just don't consume. Care about your output. That's all I can say. Because at the end of the day, it's all about your activities. And if your activity is just scrolling, that's not going to get you results. If your activity is not being in front of people, it's probably not going to get you results. So just super simple. Just put yourself out there and make an agreement with yourself to do so.
30 days. Okay, that's challenge. What would you do in the first 24 hours if you start all over again?
In the first 24 hours?
Yeah.
Get my license.
Hey.
Yeah, and then
What-
post my 朋友圈. I'm a realtor now.
Okay. So-
Announcement.
so
I'm a
same-
realtor.
Yeah. So
And then yes, and then my first buyer's transaction is coming from my past clients from my boba store, and then I post a post on my WeChat, and then I have announcement that hey, I'm gonna get my license, and then if you whoever is going to buy a house and they're looking for me, and then blah blah blah, and then he replied to me, and he was like, Marie, are you a realtor now? And then I'm looking for a home, and then in the next 30 days, and then got a home one, and then the agent was Amy home. Where's Amy? Amy was here.
So basically, you're talking about the same thing, putting yourself out there, right? Okay. So for you, the second question: give audience advice which will help them make money in the next 12 months.
Next 12 months, huh?
What do you advise them to do?
I would, for those people who new start, I would advise them to first find a mentor. So there would be a much faster and easier way, someone to be willing to share with you on all the psychology in this business. Second one is probably go down to look at what the AI will take over, or the fundamental of this business. The fundamental of this business is your sales skill and negotiation. Those I don't think AI will be replacing, and sharpen their skill. And I would say, you want to make money in 12 months, it's more important for you to sharpen your skill. Your money will come. I mean, to make money, you might, after 12 months, you might exponentially come back if you sharpen your skill better.
Thank you for speaking to our mentorship program mentees. Okay, Gigi, what's a book recommendation that every agent should read? A book.
Oh, so many books.
Yeah, I know you read a lot of books. That's why I'm asking.
Can I speak by Chinese? 因为我是这样，我是我们做这个行业在路上的时间比较多嘛，所以我是从18年开始到现在，每次在路上我都会听书，可以推荐给大家小宇宙或者樊登读书 whatever， 我基本上每年是至少听52本书。那现在定2个频道就100多本书，然后我会把我喜欢的书再买回来再读，所以我的时间我花大量时间在读书在写东西。推荐大家几本书吧，第一个就是《纳瓦尔宝典》，我讲可能很多人听说过，它会教会大家怎么去 value 你的 hourly pay。我想问一下，可以快速提个问题吗？就是大家现在有没有谁可以举手明确的说我的 hourly pay 是每个小时应该多少钱 ？OK， 好 ，very good answer。OK， 所以他教会我可以把我的 hourly pay 怎么从每个小时200块钱变到2000块钱。我现在 target 是每个小时5000块钱。所以我觉得这本书非常的好，大家值得读一读，怎么去找到这个首先是创造财富，然后是过幸福的生活，这是第一个。第二本书呢叫Dead or Die with Zero， 就是说你死的时候把你的所有钱都花掉。 因为大家都在想着怎么赚钱，其实有很少人会想到说，我现在赚到的钱能够满足我多少年之后的生活。很多人其实已经够了。你超过3000万的资产以后交遗产税会害掉你们的孩子的，所以仔细回去算一算，你们的人生要赚到多少钱，然后赚完钱之后的钱应该放在哪里？这是第2本书。第3本书我最近刚读的《人生的5种财富》。我们今天讨论的所有东西都是在做 financial 的这个财富的积累，但人生的财富还有你的健康、你的身心、你的关系，还有一个我不记得了。我这本书最近我读的，我的感受非常的深刻。最后一本可以推荐的，我想应该2本吧。第一个是有限与无限的游戏，就是我们现在在每一个 transaction 里面，我们在做一个有限的游戏，大家有时候会非常的不舒服，有很多压力或者是不开心。但是这种时候，请你们走到 Mission Peak 的山顶上，或者是 whatever 的一个湾区这么好的 hiking 的山顶上，把这件事情当成一个无限的游戏，放到一个更长的时空去看，你们会立刻马上舒服。所以有限和无限的游戏这本书也很好。最后一本书就是悉达多，我不知道有没有人读过，他那个是讨论人生的所有的困难，在终极的时候，最后悉达多是停留在一条河边，然后跟着这个水完成了他所有人生那个困惑的解答。所以那个也是，它不是完全的宗教书籍，但我觉得那本书也非常好。然后最后一本可能我最近读的，那个量子计算。量子计算是我最近在开始研究资本市场，所以呢，量子计算这本书我昨天大概读了一半，我觉得也是一本神书，非常好。
谢谢。早该用中文讲了，就讲中文讲那么多，我讲中文讲的可好。
Okay, one last question, Wilson. If someone wants to learn AI, start using AI, what they should be on tomorrow?
Just like CRM, any single one that you already pay for or have a subscription for it it's free. You should time block your time and just ask it questions. The more you utilize it, the more it has a memory of what you've done with it for you to be able to then ask, what do you know about me? What do you think I could utilize you for? And really, it's just a thinking tool.
Thank you so much. Let's give them a round of applause. And before we wrap up, I want to tell you a truth. Whatever the value today you bring home, it's not coming from here. It's the question you ask yourself. What I'm going to implement right away. And it's also important that you network with other agents. Ask other agents, what are you going to implement tomorrow? Sometimes you may have an accountability partner. Sometimes you're building relationships that will change your life, change your business forever. And lunch is ready. We have salad and sandwich. And thank you so much for,
Thank you so much. You guys give it up for Diane Yi, Tom Ferry Coach, and Anson, Gigi, Maria Wilson. Amazing. Thank you so much for your time and your knowledge. And I agree with you, success is never a rule of one. So thank you so much. So just a couple reminder, for the food back there, all the sandwiches, guys, are mixed, except there is a vegetarian to the left of you. And please enjoy New Funding Dream. They're out there, as well as S2A Modular, Say Homes. Want to thank our photographer. Please be sure to go to the housing, I believe the House Club. They have a phenomenal deal there in your far left if you're looking to get some wonderful pictures taken for the homes. And on behalf of Chinese American Real Estate Association, thank you for your time. Have a great day. Bye-bye. Board of directors and the guest speakers and Diana in the front, so we can take a picture, please. Board of directors for CAREA, speakers and Diana, if you can come to the front so we take a picture, that'd be great. And our volunteers, Rebecca, Jensen, and Long, please come on up here. one picture. Dead lungs, tobacco, board, and
还在做，还在做，20多年了，对，认识多年了。你身上带卡片了吗？啊，带卡片了吗？咱们交换张卡片。我现在，好，谢谢。我现在我儿子跟我一起做。哦，在花店3天。哦 ，OK， 好好。这是我卡片，谢谢。我哋就 KW 哈。哎 ，KW。好，有什么要人找啊 try radio。我们互相。OK。
谁去哪里了？哦。
我要想我的包呢。哦，谢谢，我还找了本给那包。对，你要走了吗？你要走了？哦。好，我也吃一点，我也拿点。好。
谢谢你。